Hey, it's Mikey Mike. Hey, we are overlanding, it's Bouquet Canyon kind of area and having some fun. Here's a kind of an overhead map, there's Bouquet Reservoir right there. I'll leave the track marker down there. So we aired down the tires and we are getting ready to head up the trail. I'm in my Hyundai Palisade and my brother's in his Jeep, and we are going to have some fun here. I stuck a GoPro camera to the back of his car and you can see mine on my hood right there. And the first part of this trail is a little treacherous. I was like, oh cow, if the whole thing's like this is going to be brutal all the way up the hill. So we were going to the top of the mountain, and it's a lot of fun. But we make it through the little first transition here, and then we can kind of keep going. But I was like, wow, can I even make that piece? But you can see we had plenty of ground clearance, and we were working out really well. Trying to make it up through here. He's in his Rubicon. I think it's 2018. On stock tires. He's aired down as well, and there's the trail marker, and I'll get that in the description of the video for you. And he's trying to move along here without trying to get too many pinstripes, and I was really cautious about trying to get pinstripes on my car. So just moving along the trail. It's if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. Smash that like button if you like what we're doing, and having some fun in the Palisade. Did a little overlanding, being cautious, staying on the fire roads. And that green map that I just showed you, I think I was highlighted in green, and my brother's trail was in yellow. So I pretty much went all the fire roads, and he went straight up the mountain on these couple little transition pieces right here. So it's a little rocky road. It is not too bad if you're staying on the fire road. Totally can make it in an all-wheel drive vehicle with a little bit of ground clearance, so you should be good there. Once again, we aired down the tires. I was at 22 psi all the way around, and just making it up nice and slow. Didn't go too fast. Wanted to make sure I didn't catch a sidewall or really hit some hard, sharp rocks, because there are some really pointed rocks out there, so you got to be careful. So just moseying around these trails. It took about an hour and a half or so, maybe about an hour to get up to the top, and you can see where those big power poles are off to the right there. We were way up over those things, and it was a lot of fun. And there's a cool little tree top stop up top. So my brother and my wife are in the Jeep going crazy up there, and we're just following along, trying to survive, trying to make sure we didn't get any pinstriping. Custom by Crunch, that's for sure. But the road was pretty mellow. It wasn't too bad. It was a lot of fun to kind of just see the terrain and watch the other vehicles and traffic going through. I can imagine after a big rain, some of the ruts and things can go through here, so be careful where you're going. And it's just little switchbacks back and forth, some little crevices that you got to get through. It's a little rocky terrain. You'll see it throughout the video here. Palisade's all stock, just got the roof rack on the top with a Thule rack. We got the off-road solar shower and an awning. So we can load those things up with all kinds of fun stuff up there. And just moseying along, getting up to the kind of the transition piece here. And my brother's going to go like literally straight up the Jeep trails, and these trails are really marked well, kind of like a ski with like a black diamond kind of scenario. So if you're in a Jeep, you go this way. If you're not in a Jeep, you go that way. And we're getting up towards the middle of the mountain here. And you can see the pine trees starting to come through. We're in Angeles National Forest, and they finally opened back up after all the fires that they had. Just trying to make some of these little rut and transitions, and I'm just taking my time here, trying to avoid pinstriping and kind of following my brother. He's kind of taking it slow in a couple areas right here. So it was a little difficult to see sometimes, the dust on the window, and just trying to make it through. Just want to make sure you can see all the off camber and just ruts that you got to go through. And the GoPro is mounted directly on the hood, so it sounds like the car's a little throaty, but you can see here I'm going to go to the left, and he's going to go to the right. And the right, it goes straight up the hill, and I just kind of wander off to the other direction. So he's going straight up the Jeep path, and I'll show you what the Jeep path looks like right now. So I'm going to go take the easy road, and he's going to take the high road, and this is what the Jeep perspective looks like. There's a lot of real deep ruts and rocky terrain, but there's some really cool views from the Jeep trail, so you got to check it out. So once again, it's Mikey Mike. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. Smash that like button. A little off-roading, overlanding with the Palisade and my brother's Jeep here. It was nice to have, we had little two-way radios. We could communicate through the whole mountain, so that was really good. You can pick some of those up at your local camping shop or whichever, in case you don't have cell service. And I had all my recovery gear in my car, straps and shackles and everything I needed in case I got stuck. And this is kind of the view of the fire road now, back to the fire road. Some great little camping areas back in here. And then we end up catching each other, so you can look straight up the hill. That's where he's going, and I'm going to take the road to the right now. And he's going to go straight up in between those trees, and I'm going to go down, around, and we finally meet up way down the trail. But it was a lot of fun. You can hear my engine revving. It's like I said, the GoPro is suction cut right to the direct top of the hood there. So here's some more pinstriping possibilities and some really sharp and rough rocks. So you want to be careful. You don't want to get a flat way out here. So I do have air pump, and I do have Fix-A-Flat, and I also have some of those little things you can stick in your tires with a nail or something in it for a temporary fix to at least get you off the trail. Palisade was so comfortable to drive, and it was a lot of fun. I just moved my seat up a couple notches and raised it up so I could see some of the obstacles. That was definitely helpful. My cousin Tony, he's a Jeep racer, and he gave me that quick little tip for rock climbing or rock crawling. This is definitely not rock crawling, but it definitely helped. So appreciate that, Tony. So we're cruising along. It was great to have a buddy to go overlanding with, and this was a kind of impromptu overlanding session. So there's another transition trail straight up the hill. There he goes, and I go around the other way, and then we meet back up in the kind of towards the top of the hill. I actually passed the top of the hill and went back around and missed the point, so he had to come rescue me and just show me the right direction. So here's a little traffic, so I pull off to the side here, found a little quick spot. And I can see another Jeep coming. So the guys are moseying on through, and so trying to keep pressing along. So we just got back from Nevada and Telephone Pole Cove, and went through there. It was more sandy kind of a scenario with some rocks, and this is just more rocky and gravelly. But I don't think I slipped tires at all, and I didn't lose traction through the whole thing. So the air down and the all-wheel drive was just amazing. So this was my first time with an all-wheel drive, and I had a Hyundai Sonata before, and I used to take it off some crazy stuff like this as well, but this is definitely a lot better. More travel, more clearance, and more power and all-wheel drive, that's even awesome. So you see this kind of a shaly rock, and I'm just kind of cruising through here. So just take it easy, take it slow. You don't want to get, no rush. I'm trying to make it way up there to the tippy top of that hill, and we're getting there. This kind of gives you an idea of what you're going to face if you want to come up here to the Bouquet Canyon kind of area and take some of these off-road trails. You hear my engine restart just because I stopped. It's so energy efficient, it just went to turn off the motor. I was like, whoa. Yeah, eco-friendly, and we're having some fun out back. But there were some tricky spots, that's for sure. Nothing that we couldn't handle, unless you ended up on a Jeep trail. Then you would have some backing up to do, because you're not going to make it. These are not Jeeps. These are Hyundai Palisade all-wheel drive. Hopefully you have an all-wheel drive, and that's the best way to do it. So making it past, I think that's the biggest hole I hit. Some guy was out here bow hunting, and he was up here in his four-wheel drive truck. And that's the San Fernando Valley, Santa Clarita Valley down there. And we're getting closer to the top. Like I said, it took about an hour or so, maybe a little bit longer to get up to the top, just taking our time. A lot faster on the way down after you know the trails and familiar with the area. But I just want to make sure I'm taking it easy because some of these little areas get a little tricky. And there's some pretty good sized drop-offs and cliffs and stuff you got to deal with if you make a wrong choice. So be careful. And I think where I needed to go is straight up there to the right, and I ended up going to the left and ended up passing the top of the hill, I believe. So I kind of messed up, and because I didn't think I was going to make it in that one direction. I don't know how I quite missed it. So I went down and around and back over to a different ledge, and then my brother said, "Hey, come over this way." So he comes back off the top, and I could not make it up that little area right there, so I had to go back around and do a do-over. So, because this is some of the, if you watch this Jeep here kind of traverse through this little angle here, you know that the Palisade is not going to make that. And if it does, it's probably not going to be happy. So, you know, protect your investment and have some fun with it at the same time. So, I might have been able to make up that straight hill right there, but I don't know what's on the other side of that. So, I'm not taking any chances. And I know the fire roads are pretty user-friendly. But it's always good to go off-roading and overlanding with your buddy, and makes it a lot of fun. So once again, this is Mikey Mike. Smash that like button and make sure you subscribe. You can check out my website at mypalisadeadventures.com. And now we are back en route to the top of the mountain. And this is, we finally made it. I just took the wrong little turn here. And those big oak trees up there is the top. And this was a little tricky spot here too, but we made it through. The Jeep was mobbing through all this stuff though, so if you want to go off-roading, buy a Jeep. If you want to just cruise and be in comfort, get a Palisade. It'd be nice to get some all-season or all-terrain tires on this thing the next time we go across, because I like to do a lot of this stuff. So we make it to the top here, and there's a lot of rocks and pointy stuff, and you got to be careful. I use my front camera a lot just to see up and over the hills and some of the obstacles, so that was kind of cool. And once again, it was running about 22 psi on the tires. It was nice and soft. It didn't lose any traction anywhere, so that was great. And there are some really cool spots. There's some little concrete flats here, some old, I don't know, maybe forestry houses. Some cool little trees. It almost looked like petrified wood down here, but probably some Bouquet rock. And my wife's down here. She's here, hold this camera. Oh wait, hey, we got to go. You're not supposed to video that. Wait a minute. She's all mad because she has to go to the bathroom. She's so funny. There was some kind of weird hole here. I'm sure there's critters hiding in there, but that would be a good place for your survivor idol in there, And a little tree climbing, and back down the hill we go. So it's Mikey Mike. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Right here, we're just doing a quick sanity check around the car, looking for some extra pinstriping. Everything came out perfect, and was able to hose it off when I got home, and everything was great. So we're going to air the tires back up, and I'm using my little Makita battery-powered air tool here. And all you have to do is set the PSI to your desired PSI. Set it back to 36 PSI. And then for this particular unit, you turn it on, and then I use this little piece of Velcro. also you just that way you don't have to sit there and hold the button the whole time, and I just cheat because it stops right when it gets to 36 psi, so it works out really good. So this is a lot of fun, and this is Mikey Mike. Make sure you leave some comments and tell me about your adventures. All right, man. Peace.